Hey, welcome back to this month's State of the Market, North Idaho's housing market for the new year, January 2023. So happy New Year, everybody. And typically I am in front of the computer doing these, but today I brought you up to Schweitzer Mountain. If you don't know where that is, it's located in Sandpoint, about a 45 minute drive up to the mountain. And it's just gorgeous up here. It's one of my favorite mountains. You get to see Schweitzer, or you get to see Lake Pend Oreille. We're on Schweitzer. And I would say this is a little bit more advanced of a mountain. There's a lot of black diamonds, a lot of blacks. There's a lot of groomed trails, which is nice. And one thing I love about this mountain is all the different programs that they have for the kids. They have, weekend passes for basically lessons for the kids, which is great. And they have some stuff during the week as well. But anyways, we are going to dive into this month's State of the Market for Idaho. We're going to talk a little bit about Schweitzer and then the overall market, where it's headed. Are we going to crash? Is the bottom going to fall out? Or is there signs of it plateauing and the market's actually relatively healthy? Stay tuned and let's find out. Now, don't forget, if you like getting these updates, go ahead and take the time to subscribe, hit the bell icon. That way you can get notified of all the updates that we're doing on the YouTube channel. Now, specifically for Schweitzer Mountain, there's 43 active listings as of this morning. What is today, the 2nd? And of those 43, the median listing price is $1.5 million, with the highest being $3.2 million and the lowest being $299. Like I said, Schweitzer has been discovered. The prices have jumped up significantly, and there's not too much sub $1 million. Now there are, I think there's 5 or 6 that are sub $1 million. They're good options. And actually my really good friend Nedra over at Kelly Wright, she has 2 of them and they're at $750 or thereabouts. So definitely check those out. I'm going to link that in the description below, but let's move on. So I actually moved this back to the house just because of the amount of noise up on the mountain, mainly the wind. I thought it was going to be distracting, and I want you to take away as much from this video as possible. If you've been watching my market video updates for Idaho for the last couple episodes, this is going to sound like a broken record, and that's only because I keep hearing buyers and sellers kind of say the same thing, that this feels and looks like 2008 all over again. And if you look at the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, I could see why that is. But if you go subsurface and you look at all the data and you just deep dive it and you put everything together, I see something completely different. So what is the tip of the iceberg here? Well, yes, we are seeing more inventory, more houses on the market. But if you zoom out, we're still historically low of where we need to be. Inflation is still high. However, the last few CPI reports have been positive, so hopefully that's going to be correcting soon. We have higher mortgage interest rates, and we got spoiled for a couple years. We're not going to see 3.5% and 2.5% interest rates again anytime soon. I don't even think we're going to see 4.5% interest rates. Now, you are seeing, or at least hearing, your friends and your family members say that, hey, sellers are giving more concessions, whether it's paying for closing costs or repairs or reducing the price. Yes, that is happening. I'm seeing that as well. But again, this is just all the tip of the iceberg stuff. So now let's go subsurface and look at some data. We're going to look at the median sell price for the 3 northern counties in Idaho, and that's going to cover from Coeur d'Alene all the way up to Canada. Again, we're looking at a rolling 12-month median sell price. And for the 3 northern counties, that number has increased. Even if you go to a rolling 6-month median sell price, all 3 counties have increased their sales. When you go to 3 months, still an increase. Now it's starting to plateau at 3 months, which is good. That's going to be good for the market. But overall, the median sell price in Idaho, northern Idaho, is increasing. The amount of homes are up considerably. We've talked about that, and I get it. But historically, we are still low. If you look at the percent of increase, Bonner County is bringing up the rear at 46%
from last December to from December 2021 to December 2022. I believe Kootenai County was around 86% and Boundary was a little bit less than that. And this is where a lot of people are saying, oh, this is 2008. That's almost a 50%, in some cases even higher than that of an increase. The difference is in 2008, we had like 16, 17 months of supply. In some parts of the country, it was almost 20 months of supply. We're not even in that discussion. We're not even close to those numbers. So yes, we are seeing more of an increase in inventory, but it is still historically low. Days on market, that has increased as well, but not too much. We're going about 10 to 15 days more than what we saw. But again, if you look in the last couple months, that is starting to plateau. So that is good. So I say this every month, and this is one of my favorite numbers to look at, and that's going to be month's supply. And a little bit of a refresher. When you have 3 months or less of supply, that's going to indicate a seller's market. 6 months and higher, that's going to indicate a buyer's market. Anything between 3 and 6 months, that's going to be a neutral market. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to pause for 10 seconds or so, and I'm going to have you think about this. Are we in a buyer's market? Are we in a strong buyer's market? Or are we in a seller's market? So, if I was to tell you that for the entire MLS that we are actually in a seller's market, is that what you picked, or did you think we are some sort of a buyer's market? According to the MLS on month supply, we are just under 3 months worth of supply. Now, I think that's mainly due because of the time of year that we're in. We're in winter, so historically, now real quick on this video, I was really hoping that my daughter was going to fall here because I had enough distance and I was uphill enough that if she fell, I could just cover her in the powder snow, but she didn't. So anyways, going back to the market report, because of the time of the year we're in, we just dipped below at 2.8 months of supply. So we're barely in a seller's market. And it does feel like we are in a buyer's market. So even though on paper, the numbers are showing us that we are in a seller's market, we're definitely not. Let's talk about the tip of the iceberg stuff. Because of that, we're not. So anyways, Bonner County is at 3.8 months of supply. So it's in a neutral market. So is Boundary at 4.3 months. It's Kootenai County that's at 2.2 months. But when we get out of winter and we get into spring and go into summer, I'm a betting man, and I bet you that Kootenai County is going to go into a neutral market. So let's move forward and let's talk about a month over month median sell price. And over the last 6 months, that median sell price for the 3 northern counties, it's bouncing between 550 and 600,000, meaning we haven't dipped below 550 and we haven't gone above 600. Now this is really important because when you look at a stable market, they typically don't bounce much more than $50,000 or really $100,000 in a long period of time. So we're at 6 months and we haven't broke above or below that $50,000 mark. Now, 24 months ago in the COVID days, we were seeing these huge spikes month over month of going way up, and then the next month we're way down like 100, 150,000, and then the next month we're up 80,000, and it was these huge swings. We're not seeing that. We have not seen that in the last 6 months. I think the next 3 months is going to be really important to see if we can continue to stay in that 550 to 600 range. So I will update you that as we continue to go forward. So go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know what you think the market's going to do. If you agree or disagree with me, we'd love to have that discussion with you.